Welcome back to Count Me In, IMA's podcast about all things affecting the accounting and finance world. I'm your host, Adam Larson, and today I'm sharing with you another bonus episode in our series. As hopefully you've recently heard on our podcast, IMA's Senior Vice President of Certifications and Exams and Content Integration, Dennis Whitney, joined us again to talk about how IMA responded to the challenging times brought by COVID-19 and share some updates on sitting for the CMA exam. In that conversation, he also mentioned how CMAs have been able to help their organizations weather the storm across the globe, which is a perfect segue for today's episode, where we will hear from Rob Mars, an experienced financial executive and proponent of IMA CMA certification. Rob talks about the value of having a CMA and validates many of the points made by Dennis in our previous episode. Rob referred to the CMA as your global passport. So keep listening to hear what that means and other insights from this experienced management accountant.
When we first spoke, we identified the CMA as really being this global credential. So, in your opinion, how has the CMA really helped you from the start of your career to where you are now?
Long time ago, in the 80s, I started my finance career with Borg Warner. I joined this American multinational as financial analyst in their European head office in Amsterdam. It was a great organization to work for, plenty of room for development, with young people, senior jobs, and a strong emphasis on financial reporting, performance analysis, and forecasting. I do still recall we put lots of hours into variance analysis and filling up the ROI DuPont chart. One of the seniors in the finance division in the US was the key promoter of the CMA, and Borg Warner was also a corporate supporter of IMA. I decided to go for the CMA. At the time, it was still a 5-part exam, and I had to travel to the US. I remember driving with our finance director to Columbus, Ohio, and to attend the exam together. And that went well. And on the way back, I was tasting my first root beer. That was a different taste. I was keen to study for further development, but a full postgraduate study found too heavy, so CMA was a good choice for me. It gave me a good overview of relevant topics. I got training and practical tools for my work, and it gave me more understanding of the US context. In our company, we had many CMAs, and the fact that we had gone through the same training also helped us to work across borders and communicate. We had a common language and understood each other better when we discussed things like break-even, contribution margin, direct costing, absorption costing, financial analysis, etc. And if we got in doubt, we could even refer to the same textbooks. So it was a good way to work across the borders.
So that leads us very nicely into the next question here. You referred to the CMA as a passport. So what do you really mean by that? And how is this really an international credential?
Yeah, I worked for 7 years with Borg Warner. Thereafter, I joined Netloyd, an international shipping company. And after 2 years in the Netherlands, I moved to Tokyo with my family. Later, we moved on to Hong Kong, London, been in Singapore and South Korea as well. So we enjoyed working and living in Asia and Europe and meeting new people and learning from different cultures. But when it comes to CMA, at the time, it was all very different. In my home country, when I did my CMA exam, there was no Netherlands chapter, no CMA exam site at all. I got my CMA in '88. Together university, the Free University in Amsterdam, we managed to start an exam site first as a trial. And then they started a CMA review course. It's great to see that for more than 25 years, they have run this successfully and now offer 2 separate CMA training courses, one in Dutch and one in English. Amsterdam is the largest chapter in Europe. Right now, you can find chapters in many more countries. It's a good way to meet like-minded finance professionals and network and learn from their experiences. All those countries didn't have them when I lived there. Now more than half of IMA membership is outside of the US. There are very active region offices in Amsterdam and Zurich, Dubai, Singapore, China, It's truly global now. This is an incredible achievement, and I'm glad to be part of this.
What exactly do all of these chapters have in common when it comes to management accounting, and what do these professionals have to offer with their CMA that really add value to their businesses?
What I find with the CMA, it's a part I like. I always love to work on management accounting side of finance. I have a great respect for all those who are experts in statutory and financial accounting, but I enjoy the business part of the role more. I found it important to have people in the team who are experts in both fields. I saw that we could add value to the business with things like decision support and quotation tools, financial analysis, customer product profitability, performance measurement, etc. With this, we could help steer the business and create more value added. At the time in my team, many people were trained in CPA, local CPA mostly. And the benefits of those is that you learn the statutory and tax and financial reporting focused on your own country. But the difference is with the CMA, business and management accounting, financial analysis is very sort of global. It's very international.
So what additionally, working with IMA and the different chapters, that holding the CMA, volunteering, all the work that you do, now you're a global board member. What personally do you want to share as far as your perspective on IMA and everything that it's done for you in your career?
Yeah, good point. It's another aspect I enjoyed very much being part of this IMA family. As I mentioned before, IMA was in my early days very much US focused and centered. Now it has substantial presence in the regions, and more than half of our members live outside the US. In the IMA board, we also have now a more diverse and international membership. To meet up with chapter leaders and members from countries all over the world during conferences is great, and I find very valuable. Apart from such networking, I also believe that as IMA volunteer, it gives you an opportunity to train and practice leadership skills. It's an intangible benefit and truly rewarding. You can start in a local chapter or get involved in a regional or global board or a technical committee. There's a lot to choose from if you want to put yourself into the volunteering role. I really get delighted to hear from young people, students, young professionals, how CMA is helping them in their career development. It's very encouraging. They can improve their hard and soft skills by being part of this IMA community and connect with like-minded people from the world. It's great to see this happening.
This has been Count Me In, IMA's podcast, providing you with the latest perspectives of thought leaders from the accounting and finance profession. If you like what you heard and you'd like to be counted in for more relevant accounting and finance education, visit IMA's website at www.imanet.org.